Super chat on the way in. But anyway, like being inspiring. I'm from right. I'm from there we go. Anyway, yeah, tried. I tried here. I really did. And the more I tried, the later I had to push back. Right. Oh man, you gotta know. Oh, one in the chat. This was supposed to be a celebratory right, celebration. Okay, we'll do it. Audio is trash. Give me a second. Uh,
All right, let me see how well y'all can hear me now. Hopefully, you guys can hear me better now. Hopefully, you guys can hear me better now. Okay, yes, it was this apparently is going to be a struggle stream. So my 2500 celebration is a struggle stream. Okay, so this is a reckless stream, a very reckless stream. So this one we are not going to have too long. Um I will be coming to you guys with a panel stream sometime next week. That is the plan. I do got to cover TLC, no scrubs, right? Yeah, and there's a couple of other things I want to cover. Yeah. I am getting you guys emails. So for everybody that's emailing me, I am seeing those emails. Thank you. Right. Fix it. Train tracks. Train tracks. No, no train tracks right now. Hysterical. What's going on, Bruce Onway? Right. Adric, what's going on? Adric is like faithfully usually the first person in the chat. Right. Usually. Right. Toya was the first person today. What's going on, Toya? What's going on, Mr. Shook to you? Grab second gear, Eddie. Right. Thank you, Vic. Vic says congratulations, my boy. Right. I was definitely ZPT time. It was definitely ZPT time today. Right. Yeah. So 2,500 subscribers. I don't know. Should I be a stereotypical millennial and complain about how I definitely think we should have more subscribers because I think YouTube messing with your boy in the whole entire Black Manosphere for that matter. But this is something that we already know, so ain't no point in really complaining about it. There you go. There go my halfway complaint. Um, thank y'all for being with me faithfully. Trell the sniper, um in, in the chat, Indigo, right? Vic, right? Bruce on Wayne, always trying to embarrass your boy with my struggle Creole. Because my Creole is trash. What's going on, Eric? What's going on? Lion, what's up with you? Man, yeah, my Creole is trash, and Bruce Owen Wayne makes sure to remind y'all of it every time he has me read something, right? So, yeah, no, I appreciate that we don't just talk about women here, although there's a lot of talking about black women here, but we don't just talk about black women here. Um, I love when I bring up Naima and when we have political conversations, BGS, yeah, um, all of that, right? Leon is still at work. There is a reason why I call it the reckless stream. Anyway, moving along. Um, yeah, so I saw when I was getting close to 2,500. So for those of you that don't have a channel, it's hard to explain, but there is, well, it's not really that difficult to explain. YouTube Studios gives us our analytics, and it keeps us pretty up to date on just about everything going on in the background of our page, right? And when I tell you, I have watched multiple months, like damn, they're losing subscribers. I'm like, Alphabet, y'all messing with me? Google, y'all messing with me? YouTube, y'all messing with me? Right? Um, and it looked like it hovered around 2,400 in some change for a while, especially like when we got to the 2490s, right? 2491, 2492, 2493, then back to 2489. What? Right? So, um, and it's the usual thing that I've heard people say often with other pages, which is like, I felt like I got unsubscribed, or like, your page isn't popping up on my feed and whatnot. So yeah, normal stuff, normal stuff. Um, so as I was saying, what I appreciate about my subscribers is that we pretty much know a little bit about everything, if not really in depth about whatever it is that we do, right? Leon says cornbread tube comes and listens to you and those retard ass ladies. I don't know. I don't know. I think there's a couple, right? I think FD sneaks in and listens every once in a while, probably. I think Chrissy definitely listens in, especially if I tag her name. Real talk with Yanni, I don't know. Sometimes I think yes, sometimes I think no. Bowser, I think I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Um, a bit of me wonders if Ole listens for some reason, right? So, I don't know. Um, yeah, yeah. I, I don't know if there's a couple of people that I would be surprised if it was a yes. And that's both like in the black female space of y'all gives you 1 second and talk amongst yourselves. Oh boy. And we're back. Of course, this is what we call it, the reckless streams. Anyway, and we're back. And I lost my train of thought. Yeah, just like that. But oh yeah, no, I think. Oh, that see, Leon already remind me. Ole does listen. I have listened to the stuff coming out of her mouth. She has been going on a fake defense of black men. I saw that. I appreciate it a little bit, right? And if I lied to y'all and told y'all I wasn't in the business of picking off one or two of them, I would be lying to you. I would be lying to you if I did not say I'm appealing to their I'm appealing to their morality and their humanity and their better judgment. Z, boo, Z, are you sure about that, Z? Fool's errand, right? Ole is the heavier Bahamian sister. Um, you saw. I actually did. I did. I might have put her conversation with FD Signifier in my community chat. Right. I think I'm getting her to her too. Actually, Trail and Trail says Z out here trying to hand out chin checks. I think I'm appealing to her too. I think I am. I I wouldn't be surprised if she listens. Let's say, right? Leon, low key, she ain't that bad. Like, yes, but no. once again, the bar is in hell. So I ain't gonna read this out loud, but yeah. And yeah, no, if because I think I am speaking for many of us when I speak. I know my political ideology doesn't align with most of us in the Black manosphere. I'm okay with that. But if we could pick off one or two and have one, two, or three black women not sound absolutely insane about black men or think twice before they say something absolutely insane about black men, especially in public, yeah, we're making some progress, as meager as that progress may be. Yeah, no, me too, actually, Leon. Yeah, 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 right. Actually, Lion, no. And Lion says, so she's another heavyweight with an axe to grind with black men. No, I think it might be one of those situations that BGS speaks of where you do the swirler thing and then you might get kicked off of Mount Olympus, or you get to see what it really is over there. And then now you like walking around here with the onk and the dashiki and your head wrapped. And I'm exaggerating. She ain't doing all of that, but you get what I'm saying, right? No, for real though, Trail. And Trail says each one teach one. No, for real, right? And that's what I'm on, right? That's what I'm on, and I think it's okay. That's why I'm not anti SBE. I don't understand shame, blame, and explain. I like, and then here's the funny part: trying to make fun of and shame. Funny enough, the brothers that you feel like are shame, blaming, and explaining. I mean, are you living on planet Earth? Like, so if I can hear some some uh, what's the because I don't want to make it seem like we made some super huge progress when it comes to them, because that would be a lie. If I can hear just a bit of, okay, maybe I might want to think twice about saying that way. If I can start to hear that in a couple that I'm almost certain listen, and one that I'm sure listens, yeah. And I'm okay with putting them on the defensive, because yes, they sounded absolutely insane, straight Nazis, right? Straight Nazis. And y'all gives you 1 second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. Uh, and Leon, I'm not even gonna read that out loud. Look, man, hey, yeah, I get it. I get it. Right. I can see the appeal there. I can see the appeal. Right. Um, Shout out to Better You with Real Talk with Yanni. Right. I can see it. Right. And Trail says, I found that women will, I think you mean say, I found that women will say the most outlandish ish just to try and win. Yes, never meaning it, but really wanting to strike out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think I mean, when you listen to Cynthia G, when you listen to like, especially if y'all say Chrissy live in the Midwest in Indiana or something like that, like she know better. She know them white dudes ain't checking like that. She know better, right? You listen to Cynthia G's literally talk about deleting unborn black male babies, right? Like randomly, Bowser's talking while she's reviewing. While she mentions, at least I want to say, um, of Boys and Men by Richard Reeves, and she just randomly calls us useless. And I'm like, you, lady? You? Talking about who's useless? What do you think you do here? You have a man. You're in a relationship. What about all of those subscribers of yours? The extra average ones, the ones that didn't attend Harvard. What are they supposed to do? Because most of them, at best, are going to have middle management positions, earning some 60 grand a year, maybe 70. And they're supposed to do what with their life? Right? So, yeah, and I I would like to have more of a reach, but as y'all can see, y'all notice like I think I might start pressing a little bit more, but I don't really press too much when it comes to the subscriber thing. Like I say my like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. By the way, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Um, because I think I already knew what it was. And shout out to like my older bros like Raj, my mentors like BGS, my teachers like Dr. Green Gorilla and Dr. T. I I think watching them, right, it just lets you know like, hey, bro, this is the difficult path because you're advocating for black boys and men and you're speaking about their experiences. And you're speaking about their experiences as a person who doesn't show his face, as a person who is admittedly blue collar, as a person who's not six figures, and as a person who's not a college grad. So you are literally Mr. Regular, right? And like just knowing that, I think I was prepared to not have a certain reach, or at least the numbers. Let's say that numbers. Shout out to Larry June. Um, so I think I kind of came to peace with that, right? Leon, Leon, it's weird because Lion has a comment right under you, but I mean right above you. And what's crazy is because like this is definitely a Lion comment. Like I swear. And Leon says, "Man, those dusty ass people are unemployed," and that's a Lion ass comment. Like Leon is the one who said it, but that definitely looked like a comment Lion would say, right? And Lion says they're spending their night with Buzz Lightyear, right? Exactly. And Chess says Jermaine Q Public. Yeah, like seriously, like your regular black man. And I came in the door saying that. I came in the door right with Kevin Samuels and rest in peace to that brother and the high value man talk. And I came in the door like, I'm extra regular though, right? And and I still demand a certain level of respect, and I don't I think what women took Kevin as is as in a weird way saying, well, okay, fine. Maybe the six-figure men deserve respect. Okay, maybe we can have that conversation. But everybody under literally $100,000, kill yourself, right? And like, do they really mean that? No, because they smashing Pookie, right? Shout out to the Roger Report. Like he said, you could be unemployed and still get some buns, right? So they don't actually mean that. but that was the online conversation, right? And that's why I direct y'all to that, one of Kevin's last streams where he did with the heavyset sister with the chest tattoo. And as he's walking her through her options, essentially, when she has to come to terms with she pretty much has aged out the game, and that chest tattoo is not helping, and she might be a few pounds overweight, and like all of the things, yeah, her demeanor changes. Because essentially what she turns into and what she pretty much says is, oh, then screw all them dudes then, right? Like if I can't have my mythical magical man, then to hell with everything else, right? To hell with all those other guys. They're gonna have to kiss my rear end. Is She didn't say those words, but you definitely felt that, right? So yeah, sitting at 2,500 subscribers. First, once again, thank you, and to all of you. Um, I really wanted to do the cliche. I couldn't do it without y'all, but like for real though, like for real though, right? And like being here faithfully. Shout out to the replay gang, by the way. Replay gang, if y'all get to what the 21 minute and a half mark, right? Um, yeah. So I'm actually surprised. I did not think I was gonna get here, right? From my first struggle video to the one that I still haven't beat those numbers yet. I don't know if I ever will. My review of Ostefco, which last time I checked was at 12,000 views. It's probably up at 13 or 14 now. Um, yeah, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna get back up there. That was like a fluke, right? And I by the way, I did that early. That was within what, a month or two of my channel, right? So yeah, and I never hit those numbers again. But or even close to those numbers, right? Um, but yeah, no, I think over the past couple years, being at trust it, I did it all by myself. No, definitely didn't. Definitely did not do that, right? Um, over the past couple of years, watching some of the foolishness online, having FD slide through a few times, and now he's you could see a bit of where he's going. I think he's being way too lightweight. Um, and I do think he's okay with the matriarchy. Shout out to Ed for actually getting him to admit that the black community is a matriarchy. Um, right. And for those of you that don't know, I want to say the second time FD signifier was on Bernard Riley's stream. The second time he popped up, maybe even the third time he popped up on Bernard Riley's stream, he jumped off and then he jumped back on, and Ed was on, and Ed spoke to him for a little while, and by the way, that whole panel was fire. Um, and Ed spoke to him, and Ed asked him a couple of questions. And that to me, that one question about is the black community a matriarchy or patriarchy, and when FD admitted that it's a matriarchy, right? Um, that's all we needed to hear. That's all we need to hear, because we already knew it, and we know he knows, but he had to admit it, right? And by the way, this is why your academics from yesteryear, 1960s, 1970s, this is why black women threw a fit back then when we were having conversations 50 plus years ago about the black community being a matriarchy. This is why they despised the Moynihan report. Because as I said, and shout out to Compassion and Callous for clipping that for me, as I said, once you appreciate it, once you understand it, once you come to the understanding that the black community is a gynocracy, but matriarchy, if you want to be kind, once you accept that, then everything makes sense, right? Oh yeah, and yeah. Hood Conservative flamed him. Hood Conservative went on for a little minute flaming him, right? And Lion says, can't forget Hood Conservative flamed him. Yes, right. Yes, and once you accept that the black community is a gynocracy, if you want to be accurate, a matriarchy, if you want to be kind, everything makes sense, especially the black man, black woman dynamic, right? Everything makes sense. And I would argue that is what the black female civil rights leaders and the black feminists of yesteryear had a problem with. I I I've been playing more and more with the idea of what black women mean when they use the term misogynist, misogynoir, and sexist. And the more I think of it, the more I come to the conclusion that what they mean is what the lighter skinned lady that I covered when I reviewed that BGS video from 7 years ago, the lighter skinned black woman and what she was getting at. Um, and what we've heard black women from yesteryear that were being recorded and that were far more honest then than they are now, that their issue with black men is that black men won't submit to the matriarchy. And like that is seen as sexist to them. Like it really is provide, protect, and shut up. And if you're not willing to play that role, then you are a sexist, misogynistic, misogynoirist monster, right? And so when they say misogyny or when they say sexist or sexism, it's really saying you won't accept the current power dynamic of black women leading, right? Like white society put the thumb on the scale for us. We got the jump on you. We backstabbed you and aligned with white women. And so we got a couple of trinkets, right? And we got the thumb on the scale for us, right? And you won't accept it. And in a weird way, when Ed pressed FD on Bernard Riley's channel, that's kind of where FD was going with it too. It's not that, and he said it right, like, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's not that I would want the black community to be a matriarchy or a patriarchy, but the way it's currently set up in this country, right? The way the black community, and to a certain extent, he does have a point. He does actually have a point. But to think that black men are going to accept that, right? To think that black men are going to accept that, particularly black men of means, that is another thing that black women have an issue with. But if you operate a gynocracy, if we want to be accurate, a matriarchy, if we want to be kind, then the black men with means, of course, they're going to date out. And even with that, it's not all, it's not most. And of course, they're going to marry out. Once again, it's not all, it's not most. It is a growing significant minority, yes. But once again, you operate a matriarchy, if we want to be kind, a gynocracy, if we want to be accurate, and you think the well-off brothers want to be part of that? Huh? Absolutely not. Right? Absolutely not. Right? Charles says it's Miss Anne syndrome. You see me? Right? And it is exposing their desire to be Miss Anne. Right? And so if I can nudge Chrissy in a more positive direction, great. And if I can nudge Yanni in a more positive direction, great. We're talking about women with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, y'all. Xers, your daughters are listening to them. Like, not your individual daughters, but like your daughter's generation. Right? Your daughter's generation is listening to Paris. With Kentanji chose better. Eve chose better. Serena chose better. Yeah. Kamala chose better. Yeah. So if I can, well, Paris is gone. Paris has been doing this for the money since the beginning, right? Like that. I don't think she has at least when it comes to these content she don't really have a moral compass. When I saw her try to do damage control with um the young lady, what is her name that the white dude dismembered, and rest in peace to that young lady. When I saw her try to do damage control and still find a way to beat up on black men, right? And the primary focus of her stream was first damage control, secondly to beat up on black men, and she really didn't focus on this white monster. Yeah. So that, I don't think, when it comes to, at maybe in real life, but at least when it comes to making this YouTube money, that lady does not have a moral bone in her body, right? And her damage control, once again, was just in case that young lady's, what she subscribed to linked back to Paris. Paris was putting out that damage control video. So if we get in a couple of them that snoop in here and they feel a certain way, yes, I told y'all since the beginning, Mr. Z is not buying into none of the logical fallacies. I'm breaking all of those rules, right? Appeal to morality, appeal. I'm doing it, right? Yes, I am. Ad hominem attacks. Occasionally, yes, I will. I will engage, right? Appeal to authority. Yep, I'll do it, right? Huh? So if FD listens in, and if Yanni listens in, and if Chrissy listens in, right? That's great. And if Ole occasionally listens in, that's great. Because for decades, and if y'all want to know why Kevin had so much pull, it's because for decades there was Oprah. Y'all keep on talking about Oprah. It wasn't that bad. Yes, it was. And there were daytime talk shows like Ricky Lake and Sally Raphael, whatever the fuck. Mr. Z done lost his religion. There you go. Whatever the hell. There we go. Right? And so, yeah. And that did have real life consequences in the public's understanding of men, particularly black men. Right? And we watched cringing while also being insulted by that freaking 2020 special or whatever it was, Nightline or whatever special it was, where those black women got up there, Sherry Shepherd, talking greasy about black men. And we watched again with that other 2020 special about quote unquote professional black women that are struggling in the dating scene to meet equally yoked black men. While a white woman looks like she's practically snickering covering this. I said white man, or did I say white woman? White woman. Right? Huh. So with my little channel, if I can nudge enough people or somewhat influential people in a more positive direction, that's great. Thank you, Trell. And Trell says Ricky, Rolanda, Sally Jesse, Jenny Jones, and on and on. Right? And I think people discount how much, once again, shout out to um Eddie Griffin, um how much it's television programming and how much that those television shows did play a part in the way they view men, black men specifically, right? And that's why I'm also going to cover no scrubs, right? How much a generation or two of no scrubs and that being the prevailing ideology concerning black men specifically, how that completely shredded not just black men and boys, but dear black women, you, once again, single Latina and black women have the least amount of wealth in America. That shredded you, right? From no scrubs to ain't gonna cry, right? From the color purple to waiting to excel, all of that, right? And now that we're working our way to being 30 years since the 90s, I mean, we're already 30 years since the early 90s. We're watching the fallout of that, and we're watching your daughters, and for some of you, your granddaughters, take much of your rhetoric, put even more toxic sludge on it, and then take it onto the social media streets, right? And we're watching what that cost. Huh? This is why I say the internet will expose us all. This is why I say let them talk. And when you let them talk and when you let them expose themselves on the internet, what do you find out? You find out how the white frat bro is playing them. Huh? Right? You find high school black girls engaging in the My Massa challenge. Oh boy. Huh? Playing down slavery for their white boyfriends. Scary stuff. Huh? When you let them talk, they record themselves leaving a club, weeping about not being approached by any black man. Then you find out they got a whole mixed daughter from a white dude. Uh, huh? When you let them talk, they're reviewing a video of a little white girl and her mother in her life-size dollhouse. And when they see the dollhouse, they lose it for a second. All their discipline goes away, and they lose it because of their jealousy of both the white woman and the white little girl. That's what happened when you let them talk, when you let them expose themselves on the internet. Oh, I'm gonna cover that. I'm gonna cover that, right? Both from Hinge to Bumble, right? And Lion says we haven't talked about black women mad about dating apps debacle, right? Huh? So when you let black women talk, they wait until one of the most famous NBA players ever to play the game and one of the greatest NBA players to ever play the game passes from a freak accident in a helicopter with his daughter, underage daughter, and those women celebrate on the internet simply because that man was not married to a black woman. And they actually say why. That's what he gets for not being married to a black woman. That's what he gets because now his money is going to that B word, Latina. Oh, yeah. Dear black women, these are your daughters. Are your sons celebrating the death of random black celebrity women? Because those black celebrity women weren't married to a black man? If Serena, you know, God forbid, something happens to Serena, what black men are going to be celebrating her death? But she wasn't married to a black man? Huh? It's interesting because I listened to a stream of Obsidians from about a week or two ago, and he said the same thing Mr. Z said. Bell Hooks passed away, and black men did not celebrate that. And black men had serious issues with Bell Hooks. And we knew when she passed. A few of us made mention of it, like Z, and we didn't celebrate that. We didn't even make snarky comments about it. Huh? But y'all keep on coming up with excuses on why that's okay. Ain't that right, Themis? Quay Tan. Ain't that right? Huh? Why it's okay for certain black women to act like that? Because they're traumatized. They went through things with black men and they're traumatized. So black men don't go through anything with black women? Black women don't hand out trauma out here? Uh-oh. Right? What's going on, Indigo? Huh? Or are we so used to criticizing black men that we just don't have the language to critique black women? What FD said, this area it's underdeveloped. Huh? We have not developed the language to speak on black women's sexism primarily directed towards black men. We have not developed the language of black women's outright jealousy of white women. Uh-oh. We have not developed the language for black women's objectification of black men. Not so much for the physical, although yes, for the physical also, but for black men being nothing but walking resource providers, walking ATM machines. We have not developed the language for the black tax that black women levy on black men for black men not being white patriarchs. Huh? Not only have we not developed the language for it, we refuse to develop the language for it. Huh? Huh? So if my little ass channel, right, if we can nudge and push these people, that's great. And I'll take it. And don't let it be lost on y'all why I cover the relationship aspect. I've said this before. Some of y'all have heard it. Let me say it for some of you that have never heard it. I am a believer that black men and black women's relationships or lack thereof is intricately linked to why the black boys can't read. You heard right. It is linked to the child. I'll just say it because this ain't going to be monetized. The child abuse of black boys by their mothers. Huh? All that you didn't get therapy and you need to get therapy. Why does he need therapy? Maybe an 8-ish black mom. Oops. Huh? Simply put, what has happened over the past few decades, really since slavery, but definitely over the past few decades, is white society decided that black women, as they said, would be the backbone of the black community. Black women were chosen to be the proxy in the black community against black men, black children, and yes, even black women themselves. And all white America had to do was show a couple of successful black women, hi Oprah, and that's all it took. A couple of black women that got it, right? And it's caused some of the biggest delusions, I would argue, ever. Tone Talks, if I remember correctly, said something like Black Americans might be the most aspirational group of people in human history, right? And like what he was trying to say, well, let me say it better. What I read from that is borderline delusional, full on delusional, borderline delusional. Now, if Tone said that about Black people writ large, what would that mean for Black women who we already know when they were little girls, especially for younger Xers, from all the millennials, for Gen Z? We know because Disney admitted it. Other entertainment houses have admitted it essentially that they targeted little girls with lifetime, excuse me, they targeted little girls with lifestyle advertisement. What would that mean for Black women in specific, Black girls in specific? Trust shout out le petit bourgeois, right? Hmm. Yeah, I would argue that's how we got to where we are now, right? And let me read this. And Eric Deadman says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Eric says, Z, do you think the far right's domination of the recent European Union elections have the liberals rattled? Do you see the momentum reaching the US? I think we're still in culture war territory. I don't think this is actually about. Hmm, I don't think. I think we are going to do what human beings continue to do, which is when we feel the squeeze, we go authoritarian, right? This is the appeal of Donald Trump. When we feel the squeeze, we go authoritarian. We want a strong man, right? And those people don't necessarily, they do have answers. Are those answers great for the masses? Probably not, right? Because you have to ask yourself, whichever party it is or whichever group it is, if they're pro big business, although they talk about small business all the time, um, if they are pro small government, if they are about stripping away certain social programs, if they start talking all this flat tax um stuff, and you are a working class person, right? 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, $60,000 a year person, or I guess in the UK be British pounds or whatever, or whatever European equivalent to that is. Are you doing yourself a service, or are you doing yourself a disservice by aligning with these people? Is this just a vote to give the establishment the middle finger, or is this a vote to better your life and your family's life? Right? And Sarge Willie Pete has been saying this too. And Leon says Europeans always revert back to feudalism. Right? And it's something to really, and I would argue that's where we're getting now. If you look at the wealth disparity in the US right now, that's where we are now. Or that's where we're getting to, better yet, not where we are per se, but that's the direction we're moving in now. Right? Huh. And once again, and once again, another time in human history, human beings would have squandered a chance for a truly quote unquote equal society. Right? Well, that's unfortunate. So I definitely, it's possible to answer your question, Eric. It's possible that that reaches here, but to tell you the truth, how it manifests in the American context, I don't know. Right? I have I have my estimations that if Trump wins, it's not about Trump. It's about Trump's ego and whatever administration he brings in. Because if Trump wins, right, it's possible he gets at least another one more potentially Supreme Court judge that he gets to pick. At least one more, possibly two, right? That's a very scarily conservative Supreme Court now. Now, even some of you Republican brothers, are you sure this is what you want? Uh oh. Number one, right? Number two, all those federal seats. Oh, this is about to look ugly, right? And if the House flips, the Senate flips more conservative. Oh, you ever see people ask for something and they get it and they're like, oh, actually, huh? Are you sure this is what you want for the culture war to get women back in line? You sure you want this? All right. At what cost? Okay, now you got a wife and you're precarious as hell. Oh boy. The landscape is precarious as hell, but now you have a wife. Whoop de doo. Huh? Oh boy. So, do I see this coming to the US? I think that remains to be seen. I don't know if we go full on Europe, right? But possible, right? Is this going to put food on people's plates and money in their pockets? Maybe if you're a small business owner, maybe, possibly, but I mean, immigrants are the number one starters of business in the U.S. Like that's a fact. I'm not making that up, right? Huh. I don't know. Looking kind of shaky. All right. And once again, thank you for the super chat, Eric. Thank you for the super chat. Hopefully, I answered the question. But yeah, I don't, far right domination. I think, I mean, is the U.S. going to move even further right? Mm, I don't know. Right. And Leon says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Remember, one of the major issues is that white system makes matriarchy look inferior to patriarchy. That's the major issue, aka an inferiority complex. I mean, that is what the lighter skinned lady on that video that BGS covered from 7 years ago. That's kind of what she was getting at, right? That's kind of what she was getting at. And what's so wrong with a matriarchy? As a matter of fact, the video that BGS covered, was that like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, but I think it was 2 weeks ago, where the black woman was speaking to all of those white feminists. Well, she was a feminist too, and she said, "I tell all my black brothers, like," and I can't remember exactly what she said, but it came down to pretty much, "Yeah, we running now. What? Yeah." So yeah, Leon, no, what you're saying, I think, is exactly what black women really, the not your average black woman, your Bowsers, your Julesies, your T Noirs, your nappy headed Jehobas, the ones that really know, and they know this to be true, by the way. There's no doubt in my mind whether they'll admit it in public or not. Now, that's a whole different conversation. We were speaking about Ole earlier. Ole, definitely FD because we got him to admit it. Shout out to Edward Anderson. Foreign Man in a Foreign Land, Conscious Lee, Professor Odie. All these people know the black community is a matriarchy. They just want black men to shut up about it, stop doing your Moynihan report stuff, stop talking about it out loud, and play your position, behind black women and not in the good way. Right? Huh. When Simone Sanders says who asked black men for their unsolicited opinions, you don't gotta hear no more. Right? When Michael Steele tells you to go talk to black women to get black men to vote and to vote for who, kind of, sort of. He didn't say that, but remember, this was Republican chair at one point. When Tiffany Cross says black men get in line next to behind black women, when the queens in queens on cocktail queens and cocktail queens and cocktail whatever start lecturing down to Ice Cube, what else do you need to know? When Alicia Garza looks Ice Cube in the face on camera, but in the face, and you could see her holding back, barking on him. She was practically snarling at the dude on Roland Martin's show. What else do you need to know? Right? No, the black community is definitely a matriarchy, and the educated class of black people know this. You think Dr. Chris Marsh doesn't know the black community is a matriarchy? You think Stephanie Perry doesn't know the black community is a matriarchy? Huh? You think Dr. Umar Johnson doesn't know the black community is a matriarchy? No. Their issue is that you black men, especially you Negroes in the black manosphere, won't shut up about it and play your role. And the problem with the Mr. Z's of the world in his tiny ass channel, once again, thank you for the 2,500 subscribers. The problem with y'all is y'all so goddamn loud. Shut up and play your position. Yes, that goes for you too. You children of immigrants, yours truly. Shut up and play your position. You're in America now. Oh, and you got an 80-year-old girlfriend. Hey, go talk to her. Why does she have this Negro outside talking? Huh? Hey, girl, why do you got this Negro outside talking? You better yank his chain. Huh? These people know the black community is a matriarchy. You're just not supposed to say it out loud, right? It makes too much. Once you start saying it out loud, then the wheels start turning in people's heads, and they start being like, "Oh, well, that explains that. Oh, and that explains that. Oh, and that explains that too." Right? Huh? Right? And once again, Leon, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Hmm. And Black Uru says to Leon, what else have they known for all their history? White people always want a boss, lord, duke, king, emperor, dictator, conqueror, god, or whatever. Right? I agree. I agree. Right? Leon says, far right domination will not happen, Z. I pay attention to all the groups on the right, and they are in more conflict with each other. Yeah, no, I think so. I think so. Right? Huh. So we live and this is the beauty of social media. Like I told y'all, the internet will expose us all because everybody gets to get their little 5 minutes of fame. Everyone gets to get their 5 minutes of fame. If you want it, it is there. And the internet will expose us all because many of us are on social media. Your comments, your search history, right? People, we already know the algorithm knows you better than you know yourself, right? And women record themselves saying all type of foolishness. The internet will expose us all, right? You watch Cynthia G's transformation. You watch Cynthia G essentially go from a woman that wanted to be literally under Tariq Nasheed to calling black men beta male coons. So she went from the quote unquote pro black stuff, whatever that was, to calling black men beta male coons, to advocating for the deletion of unborn black males. The internet will expose us all. Y'all watch that happen in real time, right? Somebody want to tell Z he's lying? Yeah. Same thing with Paris. Y'all watch that in real time. Worked for Boyce Watkins. Boyce Watkins, your judgment is horrible, right? And y'all watch her transform into what she is now. Oh boy. Y'all watch Chrissy come in essentially as Sarge Willie Pete's female pupil, right? And y'all gives you 1 second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. Y'all watch Chrissy come in essentially as Sarge Willie Pete's female pupil, and then you watch her transition into speaking about colorism and some black men feeling somewhat sympathetic, donating to her cause, and be like, you know what? Yeah, I did have that uncle that made that comment that one time, and yeah, you know what? Yeah, maybe the black community got a little color issue. We know what happens outside the black community. Yeah, okay, whatever. And then you just watch her go further and further into that, and then she went from there to start blaming black men for colorism even more and more, and then started turning her channel lightweight Nazi, and then skimmed a little bit super Nazi. You watch that happen in real time. The internet will expose us all, huh? You watch Yanny defecate on civil rights leaders on camera. You watch B. Simone defecate on civil rights leaders, literally Martin Luther King on camera, huh? Dear boomers and Xers, these are your daughters. Why are we being hyper vigilant, watching over your son's every moves? These are your daughters. Show me all of your sons defecating on black women civil rights leaders, huh? Uh oh. We even know about the ones that were out here allowing white dudes to pogo stick up and down their esophagus. We don't be talking about that out loud, outside of Mr. Z, of course. Huh. So yeah, in real time. So as I said, the internet will expose us all, right? And Detroit says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Detroit says, black men don't even know who Bell Hooks is. That's like saying who the F is Mike Jones. Hysterical, right? Yeah, no, it definitely, yeah. I would agree with you. Most black men don't know who Bell Hooks is. And yet, if your daughter attended college, she know who Bell Hooks is. If you have a black daughter, maybe even a white daughter, because they know who Bell Hooks is too. And she went to college in these United States, even in the UK, because they be quoting Bell Hooks too. Right? Oh boy. Oh boy. Right? And KW Don says Cynthia G is not that smart. She bought a woman who Tariq fired onto her channel and advised her to sue him. That is one broken ass lady, y'all. That is one broken ass lady, right? We watch these people like we watch, and it screams like anything to get you back, anything to spite you, anything to make you feel this pain. We watch black women listen to, engage with some of the most insane actors ever. And it's all about quote unquote getting their lick back. Dr. Thunders is not a lady. Right? Think think about still following Paris after she hid her marriage from y'all. Talking crap about black men. Talking about Kentanji chose better, Eve chose better. Meanwhile, what's the truth? Paris, the whole time, when she was saying that, was engaged to a black man and is now married to said black man. Oh boy. Right? Huh. That's frightening, y'all. Y'all follow her still. Y'all watch Cynthia G speak so reckless about black men, about how, especially how she used to get these white dudes and she wouldn't do anything adult fun with them, but they would still be giving her money and they would be buying stuff for her and her sister. Yawn. We don't believe you. You need more people. And y'all watch her get on a goddamn plane, fly across the country, and end up getting pregnant from a man who already had how many kids from how many different women. And y'all still follow her. Okay, right? These are the people that say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. These people are hypocrites and are lying to you in your face. Y'all still follow Princella after B. Taylor told y'all who she really is. Huh? Y'all still follow Crystal and Karazin, I want to say Crystal. Crystal and Karazin after the divorce from the mythical magical white man. Huh? Yeah. This is why I say the internet will expose us all. This is why I say let them talk, because y'all are watching black women's hypocrisy in real time. Huh? Yeah. Charlie, I ain't even gonna read that out loud. That's hysterical. Right? I don't know why I knew once I started reading this, I knew you were gonna go there. I knew that's what it was gonna be. I didn't even have to get to the period. Pause. I knew it. I was like, I know where this is going. Right? And KW Don says, and thank you for the super chat. Canada is going right wing. Justin Blackface Trudeau's goose is cooked in the next election. Right? Who's his rival? Right? Yeah. And that black man, I seen a picture with Justin Trudeau in the blackface when he was younger, right? And remember, Justin Trudeau's dad was also what? Was he prime minister also once? Or was he a high ranking government official? This is a high ranking government official or prime minister son, by the way. So Harry is not the only one out here wearing blackface and being the son of somebody important. And there you go. Huh? Okay, and Earth says Trudeau, prime minister. Yep. Yep. Man. And every time they do it, I was young and I didn't know, and it was a different time in my life. And I was trying to be edgy. Shut up, right? Y'all know exactly what y'all doing. If that's what edgy is, oh boy. Leon says, "What does it mean for Canada to be right wing? Republican light, right? Canada's Republicans are America's Democrats. I know they don't. It's not called a Republican Party over there, but I'm saying their conservatives are like their conservatives are Joe Biden, racist as hell, but still a Democrat somehow, right?" KW Don says Pierre, what's his name? Poulavet is the conservative leader set to take over. Oh boy. All right. KW Don, I like how you actually said his name, Justin Blackface Trudeau. It's funny because it's true, right? Alexa, show the meme of Ivanka Trump practically drooling over Justin Trudeau in front of her husband. Uh, right. Anybody ever seen that picture? That thing says if picture say 1,000 words, oh boy. Just saying. Reckless eyeballing, Miss Ivanka Trump. Reckless eyeballing. Right. And KW Don, once again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right. And there was a time where I kind of regretted not starting my channel earlier, but I think that was for the best. I think that was for the best. It gave me more time to observe. It gave me more time to learn. Um, and as I said, like y'all know, Mrs. Z is like a YouTube junkie. And I don't just watch things concerning black women in the goings on of whatever divestment tales or right. Shout out to Phil from the Advice Show. Divestment tales. He killed me with that. Um, the divestment tales or Swirler Chronicles or whatever. Um, Believe it or not, Mr. Z's YouTube history is full of like mini docs, exposés, think pieces about everything from Iran to China to everything, right? Yeah. And once again, shout out to Naima. That's why I love having these conversations with Naima because he knows his stuff, especially on the international front, right? BGS, right? And all the rest of you, those of you that are in Canada, those of you in the UK, right? Yeah. Indigo, you just not reading Trust's comment. I read it. So I said I'm not gonna read it out loud. Right? Trill be killing me. Hey, but Trill is really a sniper because you know I do miss a lot of you guys' comments, believe it or not, during the live stream. Well, obviously, y'all know. And, I'll go back and listen in and to my literally listening to myself. I'm not Ed. Ed says he doesn't really listen to himself. Mr. Z listens to himself and critique the hell out of myself. I don't suggest y'all do it, right? Um, because you're going to be critiquing the hell out of your voice, out of when you stumble on words, when you mispronounce words, all of that stuff. Um, But yeah, and I'll read through the comments, and man, y'all be having some gems, and I'm like, God damn, I can't believe I missed that comment. I can't believe I missed that comment because y'all be having some gems, and Trell be having me dying, right? And there's questions y'all ask I miss, right? There's things y'all say I miss. There's corrections y'all make. When I'm forgetting someone's name or something, one of you will say it, and it'll take me another 15, 20 seconds to remember the name, like and y'all know Mr. Z both either reckless streams or maybe driving or yeah, maybe a combination of both, right? So I'll miss a comment, and then when I read the comments on the replay, and I'm like, oh man, I missed that, right? So yeah. And Lionel Player One says congrats and thank you, brother. Thank you. Now I'm gonna be stumbling between Lion and Lionel and Leon. Right. So yeah, and you know, shout out to the Raj Report behind the scenes. If y'all don't know, Raj acts as my big bro in this space, especially behind the scenes. Much of the reason why y'all see me come to y'all consistently with the streams is because of Raj. Um, Especially Black Manosphere Show of the Week. Um, Shout out to LAR. Especially behind the scenes, I've spoken to these brothers hours on end behind the scenes. Shout out to them. Shout out to Louis. Right. Shout out to Leon with the emails. Shout out to all of you actually with the emails, keeping me abreast of everything going on, both political and what's going on with the sisters. So yeah. Um, yeah. So shout out to y'all, um, and everybody in the Black Manosphere who welcomed me when I made myself known. It was just okay, right? Um, yeah, and like I remember first time speaking to Angry Man Charles, right? Shout out to Charles Faulkner Jr. Ed, right? BGS, The Raj Report, Obsidian, Bernard Riley, right? I recall my first time on each one of their channels, you know, and them brothers just show me nothing but love. So even when we disagree politically, that's where it pretty much stays, right? So I think our assessment of the problems usually are aligned. Now, how to fix it? Oh boy, right? And it's interesting because I recall having a conversation with Hood Conservatives on Dr. Thunder's channel, and we've come to much of the same conclusions. Now, how to fix it, that's when we start to disagree. But we're both coming to the same conclusion of pretty much average people being priced out of marriage. And it's not the men's fault, once again, right? And what that means for a society built off of nuclear family. And do y'all really want to see men who say F it, right? Aren't we watching the black community reel from that now? Uh oh, right? Huh? Are we not? So, and let me read this. And thank you, KMS. And KMS says, congratulations, Z's. Z's. Congratulations, Z. Thank you for all that you do. I appreciate your insight and perspective. Thank you, brother. Thank you. You volunteering to be Keisha's social worker. Shout out to Edward Anderson. Is the Lord's work about that? Are you a masochist? I think Charles Faulkner Jr. would say yes. I think PK Angel would say yes. I think Lion would say yes. I think BGS would say yes. I think Black Uru would say yes. I think the Raj Report would say yes. Right? Just asking for everyone who listens to you thinks. Right? It's me and Leon out here. Like Leon, I said Leon, sorry. It's me and Louis out here. And like Louis said, and shout out to Louis Conyer, who I call Louis. Like Louis said, we're going to need therapists. Trust it. I say yes. I think Indigo would say yes. Right? I think even Toya would say yes. Even Toya was like, I can't do it. I think look, Miss Z would say yes. Right? My younger sister, baby Z, baby girl Z would say yes. Right? Longo says, sure is. Right? So yeah, apparently, right? I'm telling y'all. It gets worse than all of the man. Y'all ain't hear nothing. When I say Chrissy is light work, Chrissy is light work. That's why I can even understand why she thinks she doesn't sound that bad because the bar is in hell. And yeah, you don't sound that bad. Like I said before, yeah, you don't sound that bad when you compare yourself to Lexus Exodus. Yeah, you don't sound that bad. Once again, we know she's beefed with divested zealot. Yeah, you don't sound that bad compared to her, right? But it gets even worse than that. The hashtag Matrix, whatever the hell her name is, there's these people with these little channels, Mr. Z's channel size, a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, 5,000 subscribers and whatnot. And when y'all hear them talk, oh boy, it gets worse. So to what you're asking, KMS, yes, Mr. Z apparently is a masochist because it gets worse, right? It gets pretty, I remember when one of my actual pre-records, I played a clip of a young lady and she literally made a song called "I Hate Negroes," and Negroes was not the word she used, and she said that like a million times in the hook of the song, like you know, and I think I spoke to BGS a little later, maybe a couple days later. He was like, "Z, how did you do? Look, man, Z, I had to skip over that part." And I'm like, I get it. I get it. Look, I get it. Right? Man, yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad out there. And even FD got to come to terms that even he was like, yo, that's a sick bunch. Yeah, you don't see us doing that. You know, whatever bro, I've listened to a lot of different brothers, right? Even Base Pluto. We ain't talking like that. Even the brothers over there are not talking like that. No one's talking like how these. No black man that at least I've listened to on the internet is talking like that. None of us are talking like that, right? It's crazy. It's crazy talk, right? I mean, literally, it's crazy talk. When y'all, when you hear sovereign black women talk, she don't look like a cute sister that is broken as hell. That is when and when you look in her eyes, you see a tortured soul, broken, huh? Cynthia G, broken, Huh? Listen to them talk. You heard Yanni talk. I'm never going back to that dark hole. That's a dark place. I'm never going back to that dark place. Lady earning six figures, living her life independent, nice condo or whatever, wherever she lived, nice BMW she done talked about before. Broken. Huh? Shout out to Ostefco. Broken. I'm saying, right? And low key darkness is congrats Z. Best wishes and continued success. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Right? Broken. They're broken. And like we're all black. We live in this society. I can understand. But the beating up on black men, yeah, about that. Huh? Leon, yes I did. Yes I did. Right? And I used his name as an example to say I've been all over YouTube. These are not people I may check in with regularly. I may not listen to them regularly, but I've listened to a lot. I've watched a lot, right? And exactly. And Nimbus says, Happy Father's Day to Papa Z as well. Yeah, I got to make that phone call. I still haven't called him yet. Mr. Z slipping, right? First of all, he's in Haiti right now. And Papa Z loves keeping him a janky cell phone with a janky connection. Y'all think Z is bad with Everglade Wireless. Look, Papa Z love keeping him a janky. I'm not paying no damn cell phone for him. I'm not, right? And he loves keeping him a janky phone with a janky connection. So even if I did make that call, even if I made that call earlier, right? Yeah, I'm gonna definitely call him before 12, right? But man, janky ass phones. It's look, and you talking about it like a man that was with Primeco back when they first came out. Was it Primeco, y'all? With the champagne colored cell phone and the fake oak wood around it. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? He was one of the first people with that, styling and profiling back in the day. Now, officially an old Haitian. Shout out to Papa Z, right? So yeah, and happy Father's Day actually, and thank you for that, Naaman. And happy Father's Day to all the dads out here, right? The single dads, the dads with baby mama issues, the married fathers, right? Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, right? The ones of you that are raising your children in two-parent households, the ones of you who baby mama is the worst thing that ever happened in your life, right? Yeah, that's hysterical. And Namath says he's content with Creole phone and mediocre telecom. Man, it's worse than mediocre. Right. So on that note, everyone, we will pause right here because y'all know this is a reckless streams, and this is about as long as Mr. Z could be reckless. So we will pause right here. Right. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Um, Shout out to the Roger Report once again. Shout out to LAR. Um, Moving and shaking in the background. One of you ladies need to hurry up and marry Raj and make him a dad. Um, because y'all are gonna waste wisdom, right? Don't let him just give the wisdom to his nephews and whatnot. Y'all wasting wisdom, right? So yeah, um, yeah. And I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Like I said, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Thank you for the 2,500 subscribers. What they say, upwards and onwards, upwards and onwards. Um, Hopefully we hit 3 soon, and then 5 eventually, sometime this millennia. I'm not even gonna say century, millennia. Um, I can only go so far because Mr. Z and create his own streaming site. So I can only go so far, or I guess video sharing site. So I can only go so far with my critique of YouTube, Google, Alphabet, and yeah. So that's why we need black businesses, because I don't know if I mean, unless it was like owned by Dr. Umar Johnson. If it was a video sharing service owned by Dr. Umar Johnson, maybe he would be doing the same thing, right? Because we talking too much about the sisters and their misbehavior. Um, but outside of that, yeah, this is why we need black businesses, because I don't think an average black business would be, messing with Mr. Z's algorithm and making sure we don't spread the word and the message, right? So yeah, Chaos says he's going live in a few, right? Oh, that's about as Haitian as you get. Indigo says, shout out to Jacmel Wireless. Y'all ain't hear a Haitian word until you hear the word Jacmel. Uh, oh man, you might as well have said Jean Baptiste the Third Wireless. Jean Baptiste the Third Wireless. Oh man, hysterical Indigo. That's the way to end the stream. Jacmel Wireless, Ocop Wireless, Potepe Wireless. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Right. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Mr. Z out. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out.